All right, what's up, guys? Belton. Been playing new Sanctum League, doing some crafting stuff right here to generate some currency. Um, just thought I'd make a little video here showing a few methods I've been using that are pretty much entirely calculable and are easily replicated. Um, these are things. Some of them are stuff I've done in previous leagues. Some are new to this league. Most of them can be codified in a specific metric, so you can see, average cost within a deterministic probability, and then you take the probability times the material cost, and you can figure out based on the sale price whether or not that's a net positive or net negative outcome. Some things are a little bit more case by case basis. However, I'll explain each one of them there, and then we'll go over the costs and the outcomes. So the first one we're going to do here, done this in leagues past. We're going to craft some cluster jewels, specifically the 10% attack clusters. I like using these ones because the 10% attack cluster is one that you can item level restrict. So by doing so early on in the league, you get really easy access to cheap bases. People run heist very frequently at the beginning of a league, and according to that, or in accordance with that, you'll get a lot of people dropping jewels that are between the item level ranges of 50 and 67 because of delirium on the heists primarily. And why that's really good is because as the league progresses, the odds on these crafts is going to remain the same, right? However, the supply of the bases is typically going to drop rapidly because most people are not on characters between 50 and level 67. So therefore, the demand is relatively stable. In fact, it's actually at its lowest point early on in the league because cluster jewels typically require like at least level 90 or so to be used efficiently, just because of the point requirement. So because of that, we're going to have a very high supply of these. You can see that this 59, 53, 64, 53. And the difference of that is that if you were to use one that was max item level, you would have the option of multiple additional notables that we don't actually want. The probability goes from around 170 average fossils to craft to 54. So it's about a third of the cost. Now, what's really good about crafting them early on as well is that later on in the league, people are only going to want your tier 1, 3 mod notable combo. However, in earlier phases of the league, people are going to buy cheaper, less than perfect jewels. So pretty much anything that has 3 notables on it will sell. And because the bases are incredibly inexpensive, so we can see here, we'll do base item level 50, 67. You can see that these are somewhere between 1 and 5 chaos each. Last league, these were 3 divines for a base towards the end. And if you're to look on PoE Ninja or anything that were base types, you'll notice that they go up linear pretty much the whole time. So you can either just invest into these bases, buy a bunch of them, and just hold on to them. Again, it's pretty cheap per craft. Or you can do this and make some money either way. It's a
It has
pretty
not
good
been easy for me.
it's a pretty good and pretty
I started
consistent
off in Brooklyn. My
strategy
father gave
because
me a small loan of $1 million.
sorry, I'll turn off the alert boxes there. It's a pretty good strategy because it's got multiple ways in which you can profit. So we'll get started here, and I'll let you know which ones we're going for. So actually, the desired 3 mod combo. So here, there we go. Second fossil, you hit 3 modder. Uh, it's actually none available of that one. Okay. Again, later phases in the league. Okay, our third fossil, we hit a 3 mod combo. That one's only 10C, so we'll skip past that one. The 3 mod that we're going for is Feed Fuel Marshal, and look at that, we hit it on our 6th fossil. We also hit 3% Chaos Res, which is actually the absolute best 4th mod we can get. So you can see, there we go, that's 3.5 divines. The fact that this has Chaos Res on it is going to make this actually more expensive than that. So we're going to be looking probably closer to 4 divines here. So you can see that was, how many was that total? There's about 6 fossils, 7 fossils. Alright, continue on. Hey, Calamitous Fuel Marshal, that's another good one. 70 Chaos. Again, the reason there are some of these that I just know are good because they've been good league over league. Oh, there we go, 99 chaos. So ones like that, these are ones that would not typically have any value later on in the league, particularly relative to the cost of the base. You know, because if this role right now has an additional 95 chaos of value versus the base, later on in the league, when the base type is, you know, 1 or 2 divines, 3 divines even, you're not going to care about a 90 chaos roll, especially because the cost of serrated fossils and the resonators too typically. Actually, resonators are relatively stable, but the cost of the fossils will go up quite a bit as well. You actually see some of these are listed for a divine. I don't think that those ones will actually sell at that price. We'll keep going here. Another 94 chaos. I'll put it at 90. So we have 100 total. And we've now used 19, 39, 49, 69. So I used 31 fossils total, and from 31 fossils, we were able to make 4 divines, which is 720 chaos. Plus 70. Plus 95. Plus 90. 975C. Enter this in here. We ended up using 31 times, so we used 4 bases, that's 20C. 31 times 5 is 155, and 31 times 1.5, 46. Outcome was 975C. And the cost was 175, 181, 200, 221 for a profit of 754, 4.18 divines. Okay. We could continue on with this. We would find consistent results with this. Just because I spent all my chaos and for the purposes of the video, we'll just stop there. But we hit the 3 mod combo that you're really going after, and we can just move on. But again, we do have 3 times the total amount of this. So as you can see, we did just hit the desired one in 30 mods total, and it was 4 divine profit, and we only used 1/3 of our total, which means if our results were made consistent with this, over the 100 that we purchased, you would make roughly 12 divines in profit. That took about, you know, 5 or 10 minutes, let's say. So the next one we're going to go on to, this is a very simple one, actually. I can just talk about this real quick. This happened last league. It also is consistent this league. The Tower of Ordeals. So right here, this is the ultimatum map. As you can see, I actually ran quite a few of these myself last night, and separate from this video and stream, I have been tracking that. You can see I've made 11 divines of sales off those items. I actually did not get a shield or a hate forge, and we were still able to profit. The shields are selling for about 12 divines right now, and the hate forges, I think, are 60 or 70, which is incredibly low. I actually sold the league first hate forge for a mirror last league. So you know, when you can assemble these, currently I was purchasing these ones for 80 chaos. I was purchasing these for 40 to 50 chaos. The left piece for 3 chaos each, which you can get in great consistency and high bulk right now because a lot of people are farming in Ziri. And then the right piece is about 4 to 5 chaos each. So the total cost here, I've got it written down. We can see the total cost to assemble a tower is 127 chaos average, and the sale price, 1.5 divines currently. So that is, yep, 1.5 divines, which means you're selling it for 270 chaos, which means simply for purchasing 4 fragments and assembling them, you make 143 chaos profit, just shy of 1 divine. That'll take you about a minute and a half to do. Alternatively, you can actually run the maps as well, test your luck. The rates on these are actually, they are codified. You can check the wiki and it shows them. The important ones though, hate forge is a 2% drop, which means 1 in 50 maps total average. The shield is 8%, so 1 in 12.5. You run 25 maps, you get 2 on average. So it was very unlucky that we didn't get one. over 30 maps. We did the math on it yesterday, though. Based on the market prices, the average profit per run, if you were to run these, hundreds and hundreds of them, was roughly 4 divines. So pretty good money there. But for the average person, probably the consistency of just selling these as they sit is gonna be better. All right, and then next strategy here. This one is actually very fun because this is a change that has happened this league, sort of fundamentally with the jewels. Now, there's going to be a good degree of variance to this because there are a decent amount of outcomes. However, the Garish Power in leagues past was pretty much a completely useless card. 1 chaos at most. I don't really even think most people would bother picking them up. And if they did, it was not something that was widely sold or traded. However, because of the way they changed jewels this league, you can get incredibly good outcomes on these, and they are not weighted in a way that is negatively impacting your outcomes whatsoever. Unnatural instinct, inspired learning, what do you call it? Intuitive leap. The new jewels, here's one of them. This is incredibly powerful for jewel. Storm Shroud. Modifiers for chance to avoid being shocked apply to all elemental ailments. You can see these are right now 3 divines each. These were 40 chaos the first day. I decided to hold on to it because I realized how good it was. You can see here I'm actually using a replica shroud, which means I have access to a lot of abyss jewels. So you see we have 50% chance to avoid shock as 1 suffix there, and then 40% chance to avoid shock as 1 suffix there. And you can see as a result we have, well, that would give us 90% avoidance, which, combined with the 12% we get here from Thick Skin gives us complete elemental status immunity for 2 suffixes and 1 jewel slot, which is incredibly strong. So those are options as well as the new jewels. So we'll turn in the 6 sets here and see how we do. And we get Unnatural Instinct our very first try. Case in point, Unnatural Instinct, 8 divines. So I paid 240 chaos per card set. I wanted to buy a few of them at once because I didn't want to. Oh, and look at that, we hit Storm Shroud, 3 divines. So we're now at 11 divines right now. Okay, Fire Song, 40 chaos. Oh, Lion Eye's Fault, multiple divines again. Okay, we got another 3 divines there, so we're at 14 divines. Pure Talent's not worth much. Now there's Witchbane. So we just got 14 divines. We paid, let's see here, 1,440. And we're going to get 14 times 180. 2,520. And then we're going to add 45, 50, 60 chaos to that. 2,580 chaos. $2,520. For a profit. I'll mark it down more specifically after, but just so this video is not too long. So 2,520, 2,520 minus 1,440, 1,080 chaos profit, and that is divided by 180. That is a 6 divine profit. So far we have made 6 divines there, 10 divines there, and we turned in. We have 3 sets right there, so that's another. So since the beginning of this video, 3 sets, 420 sets, 3 divines. We're at 3, 7. We're at 13 divines of profit since the start of the video on strategies 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and now we're gonna move on over to our next strategy here, which is going to be to get a minion 1 here. So we've got the minion damage fracture. All right, I bought this for 1 divine. What we're then going to do is grab, we're going to grab a 4-socket resonator here. Okay, and then we're going to take metallic fossils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is technically better to just to slot these one at a time, because you could always hit it on the first try, and then you just get stuck with having to carry around these fossils, or the resonators with the fossils geared into them. But that's okay. It's first world problem. So sorry, the second fossil there was shuddering fossil. So metallic is blocking physical modifiers. Shuddering is blocking mana. Jagged is blocking chaos. And then our last one here is going to be corroded, which is going to block elemental modifiers. And we use the combination of these four. The only options we're left with are spell damage and plus skill gems, really. So it's a 1 in 12 chance to hit what we're looking for. Ooh. No. And again, with 1 in 12, obviously you're not guaranteed to get it, but that's a pretty good chance we'll get it with 20. But if not, I'll show you that. I'll just do it on the Craft of Exile page, show you that after. I've done the math on it though, and it is profitable. If you can get a higher fracture, that's great as well. Corroded, shuddering. Oh. I'm not personally a big fan of minion builds. Minions, traps, mines, and totems I find to be sort of counterintuitive to my playstyle, but there we go. And so we hit +2 to minion gems with that. That's going to be 7 divines now. It's unfortunate that we filled out our suffixes, because, you know, it's better if you can craft, you know, or remove them if you'd like the option to. However, that's going to be, check here. Minion gems, and we're going to make sure it's a convoking wand. We've got the +2. The +2 by itself is 3 divines, so even if you don't get the fracture, you can get that there. But there we go. Look at that. Sorry, it's closer to 10 divines. There's one posted at 6. But somewhere between 6 to 10 divines. So maybe we'll put that in at around 7 or 8. Let's say 8 in between, right? So we can say that that was 8 divines there. And let's see. Attack cluster, ultimatum tower. Right, so here we are with the minion one. You can see the average cost to make one of these. The base we paid 180 chaos for. The resonators being 12 chaos each. Jagged's 1 chaos. Metallic 1 chaos. Shuddering 4. And corroded 3. Your average cost to make one, as I said, it's a 1 in 12. It's 432 chaos, and that's including the 70% minion damage fracture. Our sale price, again, we say 8 times 180. 8 times 180 equals 1440. 1440. Which equals, oh, that's not right. 8 times 14, or sorry, 1440 divided by 1440 divided by 180. No, what am I trying to do here? Sale price. Oh yeah, 14. Sorry guys, I got a little distracted. 1440 minus 432 equals 1008. Divided by 180 equals 5.6 divines. So we were at so outcome 5.6 divine profit, and that's actually assuming that we only ended up actually using 11, and that's assuming 12. So sorry, you know, we should be exact here. We do get to add what, 12, 13, 14, 18, 21 chaos to that total, which is, you know, 1/9, so 11, 5.7 divines. So there we go. So we just made 6 divines. So we made 6 plus 5.7. 6 plus 5.7. Plus 3 from the towers. And we didn't even finish up our jewels, which we could very easily do. But after the 31 that we did, our profit was 4.18. So let's say 4.2 plus 4.2 is 18.9. We'll just go ahead and say 19 divines. All right, so in the, oh, that's what we're at now for the video. 19 minutes. All right, so in the last 19 minutes, we made 19 divines. So 1 divine a minute. All right, YouTube, I hope this was helpful. I'll come back in some new videos soon. Actually, you know what? I forgot to mention one more. Sorry about that. I forgot this strategy. This is one that is going to have some variance to it, but I do think it's important that someone talks about it, because the market has not reacted, and I can't understand why. We're going to look here at Kyrax Memory. These are 10 chaos each, guys. 10 chaos each. I'm going to show you real quick what this map does. Anyways, the reason why this was largely avoided in past last league, this existed. However, they added fracturing orbs this league. Now, fracturing orbs are made by fracturing shards. However, people seem to be unaware of where to farm these fracturing shards. And if you remember what Harb's Memory of the Sacred Harvest was like last league, this is very much similar to that. However, it is your source for fracturing shards. What this memory does is make it. My character is not very strong. I do apologize. But my the memory does is it allows you to have every item that drops in a map get converted into a currency shard, or into a harbinger shard. So that works for all certain every single way that you can possibly scale the amount of items that will drop in a map is something that is going to work for this. That includes personal item quantity. So magic find works. You can run this in groups, right? The group quantity will work. The map bonuses for item quantity also works. Pack size, even the base layout of a map, right? So, you can see here we're getting annulment shards, ancient shards, even horizon shards are quite valuable early on like this, because people are using horizon orbs quite frequently to fill out their atlas. Again, at 10 chaos of memory, you're going to be at 10 chaos of memory. That means you're getting 4 maps, right? So 4 maps total. That means you're paying 2.5 chaos per map to get access to this. And again, every single item that is dropping, as you can see, is getting converted to shards. I've farmed about 100 of these in total. I would say the minimum profit I have made per memory in so doing would be somewhere between 100 and 150 chaos. I actually had a mirror shard drop last night, as well as I've assembled probably, I would say, 20 fracturing orbs. The average for myself, it is, again, it's highly variable on how, do you have any magic find? Are you running in a group? Are you rolling the maps with 8 mods or double, are you, fucking Christ, these little splinter guys always get me. Anyways, are you rolling the map with, are you rolling the map with, 8 mods with a vol orb? Do you have again, the color? There's a lot of elements about this that can change it. For myself, I average roughly, just going solo, coming over here to Kyrak, you speak to him, you talk to him like this, right? This is the only way you can modify these, by the way. Your Atlas, no fragments, none of that stuff impacts these. But by simply using 4 chisels and an alk, I would say that I farm on average 2 fracturing shards roughly per 1 memory. At the current prices, that would pay for the memory in its entirety by itself, with just the fracturing shards, about 5 times over. Again, the cost of these memories, the Kyrax Memory of Survivor's Guilt, they are 10 chaos currently, and the price of a fracturing shard is 27 chaos. So even just having 2 of these drop per memory, you are going to be making 54 chaos, or 5 times your money. As you can see here, I know that I get distracted quite easily. It wasn't a great demonstration of how to do this in a map, but you're going to pick up a ton of annulment shards, a ton of ancient shards, chaos shards, drops, regal shards. Depending on how much you pick up, obviously the profit per map or your profit per hour can adjust. Do that according to your personal preferences. And here's the mirror shard as well. However, again, there is absolutely no way at 10 chaos per you are going to lose money on this. You will, on average, probably make somewhere between 150 to 300, maybe more than that, chaos per memory, depending how much you mod it. But it's a very, very good strategy to do. And what's kind of cool about it as well, I get sort of bored with filling the Atlas. And so with the memories, the way that they work is you just right-click them and you can apply them to whatever map you'd like, right? And, so I've actually been filling out my Atlas by doing memories. So it's been a little bit slower, but in that way, I also get a farm at the same time. And that's allowed me to afford a bunch of cool stuff. So, again, that wasn't the best demonstration in the map, but for the sake of keeping the video a little bit shorter, definitely check that out. You can see the wording on this. Items found in areas are replaced by common stacks, or replaced by stacks of currency shards. And again, the only way to mod these guys, you can actually use delirium orbs as well. That's a thing that's different than a harvest ones from last league, because the delirium will add additional mods. Those additional mobs will drop stuff, and it will drop as shards. Rolling beyond on the map is also useful, but 4 chisels, try to get as much pack size quantity. You can use a vol orb to try and make it identified for the 30 quantity, or to get 8 modifiers. And then your personal magic find as well as group magic find can also impact that. Your Atlas tree, as you can see here, you come and talk to whatever master memory opens. This is the same for all memories. It does not impact the character. Sorry, your Atlas tree, scarabs, for none of that stuff actually matters at all. And that's actually kind of a good thing, I think, because you can just do, if you find one of these or if you just buy one of them, you don't have to adjust your whole tree or do anything kind of crazy. You could just buy them and go. Since they're only 10 chaos right now, it kind of makes sense to not, you don't want to invest too heavily into the map, right? It doesn't make sense to spend, 10 chaos rolling each one to get 6 mods, Vol Orbing and Exalting, all of that stuff, when you could just buy a whole new memory. I don't think that these memories are going to stay this cheap forever, but, I've been incredibly surprised as I was very excited purchasing these at 40 chaos in the first couple days, and they've actually gone down. Yet the price of all of the fragment shards has gone up by astronomical amounts. The fracturing shards alone have gone from 5 chaos to 27 chaos in the past 3 days. Annuls and ancient shards are surely going to go up in price as well. So I can't give you the exact numbers on how profitable these are because, again, it is very much variable, depending on how you roll them and the precipitating conditions. However, there you go. There's a bunch of different strategies, and I'll make a new video soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. YouTube, I'll highlight this on Twitch as well. And feel free to stop by and stream sometime if you're a YouTube viewer, because we're doing this stuff every day. And yeah, anyways, talk to you guys soon. I hope you're having good luck in the league, and hope Money Gang keeps up. Cheers.